Hi, I'm Coach Bev. I am an education and parental guidance coach. I coach you as you help your kids obtain their goals using the skills and knowledge that I have obtained as a parent and veteran educator. And with that being said, today we are going to discuss the topic I don't feel no ways tired. Now, you got to have a little bit of age on you to really understand this topic. This topic comes from one of my favorite gospel singers, the Reverend James Cleveland. And I think we all know the song, I Don't Feel No Ways Tired. I come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me that the road would be easy. But I don't believe he's brought me this far to leave me. And I'm going to leave it right there because I just feel like I want to go into a little church service because that old school gospel just does something to my spirit. So we're going to keep it moving, okay? All right. I wanted to use this topic in relation to the thought of moving on to the next level in life. When you are out here and you are trying to make a difference and change different dynamics that you have going on in your life, it depends on so many things that allows us to move forward and to be stuck in a place where we are. Yes, we got to have a little motivation and a little willingness to do it. But sometimes for a lot of people, it's really not that easy. There are mitigating factors out there that can really affect the type of strength and dedication that you're going to need to complete this walk. It's a big difference when you are 18, 19 years old and you are trying to find your way and you just go through all of the steps. You were a good student, you had the good parents that already know about college requirements, so they can help you. They know what you need to do. They know what you shouldn't do. Just to have that guidance, and then you get to college and they're supporting you financially and emotionally, and they're there. I think most kids would go on and do great things under those type of circumstances. But unfortunately, we do have some people that are not in the position to have that type of beginning. And some people don't get the opportunity to go to college straight out of high school. Myself, I was one of them. I didn't go to college straight from high school. Like, I wasn't that kid that understood or knew. My mom wasn't in a position to provide that type of knowledge, to plant that in me as a young girl. So I grew up expecting this of myself. My mom didn't have that type of knowledge. So that definitely made a difference. Whether or not you have that type of knowledge coming up as a child and that type of support. So what I'm really trying to say to my people that had to do things, that have to go about this the hard way, you got to go the long route. You didn't think that it was really going to make a difference. And then now that you're out there and you're trying to survive out here, you realize that it definitely is challenging. And it would be nice if you had a little something more to offer so that you can have more opportunities. You could be late 20s or 30s. I know some people that's in their 40s that's still trying to get education and finish school and do things. to better themselves, to increase their income potential so that they could try to provide and not have to work so hard and work 2 or 3 jobs just to make it. That's what that title is for, so that you don't get tired along the way as you are trying to decide what it is you want to do to help you get to your next and to take the steps that you need to take to get to the next steps. Some people are the first in their families to do it. For some reason, you may be one of those people that's like the oddball out in terms of trying to move and do something different. Perhaps you look around and you see that everybody in your family, they work a certain type of job and, they live a certain type of way. And you probably just want to do something different. And you will be the first person in the family to step out and do this different thing. That's scary. That's scary. Even if the thing that you're trying to do is legal and a good thing to do, it's still scary. So I wanted to give that individual a bit of advice if you are in the position of being the first person in your family. Yes, I have the 3 F's that will help you if you are trying to break the mold per se and be the first one to do it. The first F is that you're going to need is focus. You are going to have to be so focused. Like focused. You just have tunnel vision. You doing what you got to do to survive, but while you're going through the motions of surviving, you are completely focused on what you got to do. You are focused on taking this next step. What's the next thing I got to do? What do I need to do to get this? So that you can just keep moving forward at a steady clip. And then when something comes along and knocks you off track a little bit, of course, you're going to have to get back on. But then once again, the focus is back. The focus is back. You're just focused. You're going to make sure that if you just keep going, if you keep going, eventually you're going to get there. So focus. Whatever somebody may try to bring your way to, the girls want to start going to the club, but you got papers to write. You got things that you got to do. You got to remember, you got to have a vision on where you see what it is you're trying to be. You got to visualize being self-sufficient. You got to visualize not struggling. You got to visualize not living check to check. You got to visualize being that lawyer, being that doctor. You got to visualize it. So when they say, let's go out, let's go hang out, and let's go do this, and let's go do that, you got papers and you got school stuff to do. You're going to have to say, I'm sorry, ladies, I can't. I'm sorry. I got to get this done. Got to be focused. Otherwise, you're going to keep stopping and starting, stopping and starting, stopping and starting, stopping and starting. Then that's no fun. Okay? Fear, the second F. Fear. You are going to be afraid. You are going to be afraid. Let's just go ahead and there's going to be some fear. I'm not saying like trembling fear. You're going to be apprehensive. You're going to have some doubt, especially if you don't have anyone telling you and patting you on the back and giving you encouragement. Most people, if you're the first one out, a lot of them may be looking at you saying, yeah, look at her trying to go to school again, poor thing. Yeah, she keep going up to that school. When she getting a degree? How long she been there? See, that's how a lot of people are going to be looking. So a lot of people aren't going to believe that you are going to actually complete what you started anyway. So you can't worry about that. But because you don't have that support and you do know what they're saying about you, that could cause you to have a little apprehension. And there's nothing wrong with a little bit of fear. The only thing that's wrong with fear is when you let it alter you. When you let it alter your mind, when you let it alter your decision, when you let fear make you turn around, that's when fear is a problem. But fear is a natural, typical emotion that just about everybody is going to feel, like along with the other emotions, happy, joy, sad, all of those different emotions. Fear just happens to be one of them. So we're going to move on in spite of fear. We're definitely not going to let a little fear hold us back, make us stop. Because again, we're too focused. And my focus is so sharp that it's cutting through any type of fear that I may feel like I'm going to be feeling. So we're not even going to, the fear is just going to be minimal. But we know that it's going to be there. That's to be expected. That's to be expected. I would be impressed if there was no fear. Okay? Let's just be clear about that. And forget. That's our third F. Forget. Forget the negativity. Forget everything that's done happened bad. I see students a lot, and I know I used to be one of them. You always thinking about what happened that was bad, what was negative. I see some kids that don't want to move forward because they so hurt, and it's like they just paralyzed in the moment that they can't get out of it. They just can't think about anything else but that. And that thing that you can't forget, it could just take a toll on you. And it could affect your efficacy and your ability to motivate and your willingness to get up and get out and get something. I hope y'all didn't catch that. Okay? But it will affect. It will affect. So we're not going to let these bad things that happen, which I just call roadblocks, like speed bumps. They're just speed bumps to just slow you down a little bit. But once you get over that hump, you got to just take back off. They're speed bumps. They should never, these things that are being done, like people, they're distractions. And we have to have the ability to overlook them and to keep going. Okay? Now, another thing that I noticed about people in terms of making a decision and trying to move to the next and trying to do better, making up their mind to go out and get something. Another mistake that I see a lot of people make, now this is one mistake I see often, is that people don't want to crawl before they walk. People do not want to crawl. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's, I can understand that if you are of a certain age, you may have a little more sense of urgency than the person that's 18 or 20, 21 years old. I understand that. But what we also need to understand is that there is no getting around the crawling. We will all crawl before we walk. There are steps that must be taken. And you got to understand that while you are crawling, that is where you're learning. That is where you're getting skills. This is where you are learning about yourself. This is where you are getting, learning how to, just different skills, how to deal with different type of people, whatever type of skills it is that you need to obtain in order to successfully do that job. You are getting those along the way of crawling. If you just jump up and you just wake up and you are in a position, you go, let's say you graduate college and you just wake up the next day and you are a manager at a bank. Really? You were never the teller. You don't know how to count the money. You never did the drive-through window. You don't know how to run the vault. You never worked the safety deposit boxes. How are you ready to manage the bank? So you got to crawl. Everything happens in steps. But I see that a lot of people do not want to crawl before they walk. And I have seen people actually stop and turn around because they did not want to go through all of that. Oh, it's going to take too long. That's going to take too long. But I tell people all the time, how quick did the last, I ask people all the time, I'm sorry, how quick did the last 5 years pass for you? When you're sitting here, you're thinking about it in terms of 4, 5, 6 years. Yeah, it seems like a long time, but it'll be here before you know it. It'll be here before you know it. Just think about how quick the last 5 came. Okay? So we really need to get into the mindset of going through the steps and take things step by step until we reach where we got to get there. Nothing's going to change for us until we make up our minds and we make the decision to go pursue. You have to go pursue your purpose. You have to pray and ask God what your purpose is if you pray to God. If you don't pray to God, I'm sorry, I might not be the person for you. But pray and you ask God, you know, what is it He wants you to do? And you take steps. You pray, and of course He's going to be with you. And you pray and you keep moving. And it's not going to happen unless you do it. Nobody's going to do it for you. It's not just going to fall out the sky. Nobody's going to ride up on the horse and rescue anybody. You got to do it for yourself. And that's man or woman. I can want it for you. I can want it for you more than you want it for yourself. But if you don't want it, there's nothing that can be done. Because you're the one that's got to take the steps. You are the one that's got to go through whatever it is that you have to go through so that you can get it. But you have to make up your mind that you are going to go get it. And once you make up your mind, you have your focus and you don't let anybody deter you or turn you around. And that, my friend, is how you pursue purpose and achieve it. All right, I'm Coach Bev. Thank you for your time that you have spent with me. You've given me watching my video today. If you like what we discussed, if you would, please give me a thumbs up. I would definitely appreciate it. You can find me at Facebook and Instagram at Regal Awakening. I have a website, regalawakening.com. And of course, you can find me on YouTube at Regal Awakening. Please subscribe to the channel if you'd like to get updates whenever I post new videos. I will most certainly appreciate it. Thank you. Have a nice day.